Hey guys, Dr. Berg here. In this video, we're going to talk about how much fat you need to consume on a ketogenic diet per meal. Okay? There's a lot of theories out there, but I have an unfair advantage because I have a lot of people I can practice on in my clinic to see what works and what doesn't work. Okay? I'm going to show you what works. A couple things that people bring up all the time is a ketogenic diet, which means you're eating more fat, is that dangerous for your heart? The answer is no, it's not. In fact, it's not the fat that plugs up your arteries, it's the sugar, okay? There's tons and tons of studies, I'll put some links below, on this fact, okay? So ketogenic diets are not dangerous if you do them correctly. Second question that people say, or they've heard, they say, well, the more fat that you eat, the more fat you're going to burn. That's another myth, because you could be burning the dietary fat and not your own fat, all right? Now, the whole concept of a ketogenic is that you're having very low carbs, okay, moderate protein, higher fat. What I found is we want zero sugar, unlimited vegetables. In fact, we need more vegetables because if you do this, ketones are acidic, and the ketones can potentially raise your pH, and you can end up with either gout, a type of arthritis, or kidney stones, okay? So the way to prevent that is to consume a lot of vegetables and also lemon. Lemon actually prevents kidney stones. The other key is to don't consume sugar with fat. Why? Because it will increase insulin even more. So we don't want to add the sugar to this eating plan at all. The other point is you want to do this gradually. If you're increasing fats too quickly, it's going to overwhelm the gallbladder and you're going to have right shoulder pain, okay, and bloating, things like that. That's why I recommend that if you're going to do this, highly recommend the gallbladder formula, because that gives you the enzymes and the bile to help handle this fat in the transition. Number three is that it does take time to adapt your body to fat burning. All the cells must change their enzyme structure, their machinery to handle this new fuel source, because we're eliminating the glucose and we're increasing the fat, and it does take sometimes between 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6 weeks to make this transition. In the process, we're going to do this nice and gradually so your body can go right into it and you'll feel really good. Now let's talk about how much fat that you really need. Now, these are lists of fats that you can potentially consume. And by the way, I have a link that I'm creating below so you can download this chart, which actually is right here. This one right here. So basically, this is kind of a short version. Heavy cream. 1 tablespoon is 5 grams of fat, okay? So an average person, and this is very general, needs between 20 and 40 grams of fat per meal, okay, on a ketogenic diet. So this is 40 would be the high scale, someone really large has been doing it a while. 20 is someone smaller and they're just starting out. Okay, so we're going to calculate this kind of like mid-range at 30 grams, okay, just to give you an average. So heavy cream, and you can make whipping cream. I have a video on that. You can make all sorts of things with heavy cream. 5 grams, you would do 6 tablespoons per meal. Like you're going to have that right after the meal as your fat. The fat's going to allow you to go longer so you're not as hungry, and it's not going to increase insulin, is exactly what we want. And you may only be doing 2 meals. So if you're concerned about calories, which I actually did add calories to this, do 2 meals, especially if you're not working out. I mean, you'll find that once you adapt, you can burn your body fat as a fuel source and you can go a long period of time without having to worry about it. Now, egg is 5 grams of fat. Now realize that there might be more than 5 grams for the egg, but we're talking 5 grams of fat. So 1 egg is 5 grams, so you need 3 to 4 eggs per meal. I do 4 eggs in the morning. Sometimes people do 2 or 3. That's totally fine because you don't have to, you can combine these in certain ways. So now let's get to the beef. We got 3 ounces is 16 grams. So about, 3 to 6 ounces of beef. So what I want to show you is kind of an example of this beef that's frozen right here. This is some beef that's 85% lean. I do not buy the 90% lean. I like the 80%, but it's hard to find it. I like this thing to be more fat, but this is the type I have, which is grass-fed organic beef. And just so you know, I do the pasture-raised organic eggs. That's the type of eggs that you need to consume. And so then we get coconut oil, right? 1 tablespoon is 14 grams. So we're just going to double that and have 2 tablespoons. Now you can put that on your vegetables. You can make little treats. There's all sorts of recipes you can make, but that's the type of amount of fat that you would need per meal. Brie cheese, 3 ounces, 28 grams. So you would just do 3 ounces. So I'll show you. Brie cheese is very high in fat, and I actually took this and I drew these little lines here to show you what 3 ounces is, just to give you an idea. It's a little slice of this. This is like 4 3-ounce sections. This is 12 ounces of cheese, and one of these for a meal would give you enough fat. But this also has the protein, so you could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And I do a lot of cheese. Another idea, here's some other cheese right here. This is a German cheese. Just less than half of this is 3 ounces. Okay, so that gives you an idea. It's kind of like a little bit bigger than it's kind of like yeah, it's not a card deck, but it's a little bigger than the palm of your hand. But half of this would be 3 ounces, okay, just to give you an idea. Almond butter, 1 tablespoon is 10 grams. So that would be 3 tablespoons of almond butter that you would consume. You can do that right after a meal. That would be your fat. Olive oil with 1 tablespoon, 14 grams, so 2 tablespoons of olive oil. That's really easy just to put on your salad. Boom, you're done. Of course, some of it's going to end up in the bottom, so maybe you want to add another one. But that would give you about 30 grams of fat. Pecans. So 10 pecans is 20 grams. So if you do 15 pecans, right, at the end of a meal, or maybe macadamia nuts, that would give you enough fat. Ice cream. Now you're saying, wait a second, ice cream? Can I have ice cream? There are certain ice creams that have no sugar. In fact, I'll show you the one that I have right here. So I put a chocolate brownie on here. That's a recipe that we have in some of the videos, and ice cream. And you can basically make this ice cream or get it from the store, and it has no sugar, and that 1 cup would give you 22 grams of fat. Okay. Now, I personally, this is an ice cream that I'm developing right now. I'm having my own line of ice cream. Now, I'm experimenting right now, and it's not perfected. I'm in the R&D stage. In fact, a couple days ago, I had all my staff consume this much ice cream. So I gave them a container because I wanted to see what would happen, right? Half of the group had some digestive bloating. It was temporary, but still it's not perfected yet. So we're going to be perfecting this. I have to go back to R&D and figure out how I'm going to fix that, because the last thing I'm going to do is have you get it and have you bloating and call me up and say, Dr. Berg, gas me out. I don't want to go there. So the ice cream is made with a high quality fat, no sugar, but we have to figure out the soluble fibers in there. So we're working on that right now. But that will be down the road. Some people want to know when it's going to be. I don't know. I'm going to have it done when I perfect it. Okay. So this will give you an idea. If you download the chart below, it'll give you an idea of how much fat that you really need. So go ahead and apply this, and go ahead and write your comments below, and I hope this helped you. I'll see you in the next video. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please click the share button below, and I will see you in the next video.